Looking back at the film from Saturday against Indiana, I guess what's the best thing you saw, and what did you see that you need to clean up heading into Michigan State, another Big Ten team?
Yeah, first and foremost, like I told you guys last week, we need to start fast, and we didn't. 3 and out to start the game, it's not good enough. Bottom line, defense did a good enough job for us to win the game, and we didn't answer the bell. So we got to be better in all aspects. Clearly, there was some good stuff. Guys were playing really, really hard. I love the effort every game, but overall as a whole, we got to get a lot better, and we got to start faster.
On that 4th and 1, like early in the game, what went into that, run call there instead of versus, I guess, like a play action or a rollout there where Bailey has the option to run or pass? I guess what went into that play call there?
Yeah, it's been something we've been repping for about 3 weeks now. That it's been in the game plan that we felt really, really comfortable about. Clearly looking back on it, it didn't work out for us, but really it was a pretty simple look, and we just had a little miscommunication there on the offensive line. It should have been an easy first down for us. So not mad about the play call, more mad about the execution, and clearly, like I said, we got to get a lot better.
You just said defense played well enough for you guys to win. I guess point total wise or whatever for you guys as an offense, I guess, what's the goal or what's that mark that you think is, the key to win a game?
Yeah, I felt like we should have scored 35 to 42 points minimum. Same kind of deal like we just talked about. We were 4th and 1, and, I don't know exactly the yardage. We're close down here. I feel like we'd have had the momentum. We should have scored right there, and we didn't. We just didn't get it done. So, once again, I think we should score around 40 points a week, and that's kind of the standard around here, and we haven't gotten that done the last 2 weeks, and that's the goal moving forward.
Michigan State has one of the, top scoring defenses in the nation, but also they've allowed a good amount of yards through the air and through the ground. What's it going to take to score against the defense? Instead of just moving the ball down the field, just to be able to score.
Yeah, I think just executing at a high level. Like you said, they're a very, very talented defense, one of the tops in the country. They've gotten after the quarterback this year. I want to say they're 5th in the country in sacks per game. They're a blue collar bunch, man. They play really, really hard. Got a lot of really, really talented players. So at the end of the day, it's going to have to be our best game moving forward, and we're going to have to execute the game plan. And when certain guys' numbers are called, we got to make plays.
You mentioned the sacks there. Do you plan on maybe moving the pocket a little bit to avoid that pass rush, or do you think your guys could, hold up against that pass rush?
Yeah, first off, I think we've been really, really good in pass protection all year. I think that's been one of the strengths of our offense so far. The offensive line, Coach Hamby, they've done a tremendous job keeping number 4 off his back, and that's of high importance. With that being said, I think every week, you have your certain plays where you're moving the pocket, no matter who the opponent is, and so those things will be carried this week just like every other week.
Malachi Corley is a guy that Coach Ellis talked a lot about last year as a guy to look out for. He didn't really get as much attention last year, but this year it seems like he's Bailey's kind of number 2 guy to look at, after Jarrett. I guess, when did he kind of emerge as, that guy?
Yeah, I'd say it was kind of late spring. He was having kind of a tough spring. He came in and we all had a really good conversation, and ever since that day, he's been phenomenal. I can't speak highly enough of how hard he worked after that moment. Summer was great for him. Came in camp and really busted his tail to earn that starting H spot. And ever since then, there's been no reason to take him off the field, and clearly him and Bailey have great chemistry. And at the end of the day, that's a huge part in what we do, because the quarterback's got to trust you, and he's got to know where you're going to be. And Malachi's just done a tremendous job for us.
He's still a young guy, just his second year here. I guess, what do you see as the best part of his game, and something that you want to see him get better at?
Something that most people may not see that's overlooked is his blocking ability. And he takes a lot of pride in that, which is one of my favorite qualities that I look in for a wide receiver. Being a selfless teammate and protecting your teammates on the bubble screens and some of that stuff, and blocking for those guys. So and you can go ask Jerry Stearns; he'll tell you point blank he loves having him out there block for him. But man, he's really done really well. He's running routes good. He's fast. When the ball's thrown his way, he's come down with it. So. Clearly there's some small things here and there that we got to get better at each week, but really I'm very, very proud of Malachi and where he's going, and his ceiling's very, very high.
You mentioned some of those screen passes. I feel like we saw a little bit more of those in the Indiana game. I guess, what went into that game plan, and are you expecting to call a little bit more of those throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, some of our philosophy is we can take the easy yards, and Indiana was giving us that, especially early on. Second half, I think they kind of got tired of us taking those easy yards, and so they kind of came down and put the clamps down on those type of things a little bit, which is part of football. Whenever they give you the easy ones, take them, and when they don't, you got to take it over the top. So once again, we're going to try to do it the best thing that we can that the defense gives us, and just kind of go from there.
Coach talked a lot about the penalties against Indiana, in all three phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. I guess from your side of it, how do you try to clean those up in a game where you're going to have to play a clean game?
Yeah, I mean, just keep practicing. A couple of them, the false start penalties are really tough, and to me, if we can clean up the false starts, I think we're going to be hard to stop, because it's kind of that type deal. If you go back and you really look at us versus Army, us versus Indiana, the drives where we didn't get points, there was a self-inflicted wound, whether it was a turnover, whether it was a drop ball, whether it's a penalty, those type things. And that's been kind of my deal since day one. If we can really take out those self-inflicted wounds, we're hard to stop.
With the pace with which you guys play, how much more difficult does that make, cleaning things up like that?
I wouldn't say either way. To me, it's just football. This is what we do every single day. And so it's not like we're reinventing the wheel and going and doing something. One practice we're playing real slow, the next practice we're playing fast. We practice it, we do it every day. At the end of the day, there's some fatigue and some of those things set in, I'm sure, being, an 18 to 22-year-old guy. But we just got to be better as coaches and harp more on it. And ultimately, it's up to us, like I said, as coaches, getting it done and getting our guys to lock in and sit in there.